I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times, cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times, cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it.
What is up, everybody? Today we will be concluding the fingerprint series. I couldn't leave it like that. I didn't know for sure if fingerprints came from the factory or if this was somebody opening it up and leaving fingerprints on the plastic itself. So what we are going to be doing is running two different tests. The two different tests are as follows. First, we will be doing Hololive displays. I'm going to open one by one and fingerprint one trial deck and see if there's any fingerprint inside of that plastic outer case. If we run into any fingerprints, the test is over. We're done. We're not going to keep opening. That pretty much tells us that, hey, yeah, some people at the factory that this is made at actually do not wear gloves, and that's what's telling us why I'm seeing fingerprints on my trial decks, right? The second test case that I will be running is this one. On the last video, Darky Home wrote down here, you should still fingerprint the bottom of the boxes given the creases seen. It would have required a much stronger force to pry open compared to you just touching the bottom. You can also use the black powder as well, since it doesn't clump up as much. So that is what we will be doing here today. So bear with me as I set this up. As I said, I'm not going to edit from here on. I'm not going to be doing that. I will be editing the opening. I thought it would be just be fun to show all the different trial deck displays. So let's do that. I'm going to clear this stuff all out of the way here. All these displays. So my displays will be sacrificed for this actual experiment. So I'm going to be doing those individual trial decks at the very end. Beginning, I'm going to be doing these Hololive ones, these new ones. So let me put my gloves on. I feel like a surgeon or someone special for putting on these gloves. I know it's not very special, but look at me, I'm important. I got some gloves, I got some fancy gloves. Check that over there, and let's do this. Let's do this. I don't know what's going to happen here. This could be over all on the first one. This may go all the way through 7. Who freaking knows? But we will have our answer today. That's all I know. We will have the answer. And here we go. So you can see here, this thing is intact, not opened. I didn't do anything crazy to it. And we will take a little slice here. As I said, I haven't actually opened any Hololive outside of the two I fingerprinted. This is definitely not the way I wanted to actually open any of my Hololive product. I still have the booster box unopened. This is really first time I'm doing my trial decks. By the way, I'm going to be skipping over Gen 3 and Gen 5. Those will be done if we make it all the way to the end. Since I already have a Gen 3 and Gen 5 open, I don't see the real reason to open it as part of this experiment. So you can see here, there was no plastic styrofoam back then for Hololive. I'm going to pick my good friend number 2, as I always do. I'm going to leave that here on screen so you can see I do not do anything to it. And let me just put this on the floor. So I am running out of space. I got too much crap on here. Okay. So if you take a look at this, I just want to show this just for historical purposes. As you can see, open display. Tape is undamaged, but you do have some lifting there. You also do have a little bit of damage in the corner. So these do come that way. Again, I always point this out just so people that are new can see that, you know what, this actually does happen. If you get it in the mail from some seller, this comes out of the box that way. All right, and then I'm going to show the bottom here. We're just going to see if there's any sort of damage or anything weird, which it shouldn't be because it came out of this box, right? There's no fingernail markings like we had on that Gen 3. Nothing looks like it's pried open. So let's open this up. I am not going to do anything. I'm not going to check out the cards or anything like that. You are looking at the wrong video if you want to see what's in here. At the very end, I might just scan through it to see if we do have a signed card or anything like that. But really, all I'm going to do is take this sucker out, and we are going to fingerprint this box here, right? There is nothing else that's going to be happening. And as always, I got my handy dandy plate. One last time, friend, we are going to be using this wand and some Searchy fluorescent magnetic latent print powder. So we're just going right into this. Because this is going to be a long video. If we actually do make it through all 7 trial decks, that's going to take a bit of time here. I really hope, as I apply this powder, it doesn't land inside of my actual trial deck. That would be no bueno. So again, we dust this all over. And let us see. Oh, I just smeared that all over. Okay, drop you off. I am going to remove my glove for a second here. I remembered that when I do this, I need a different zoom. So bear with me. This is part of the process, right? I told you I'm not going to be editing this at all. So let me just zoom in. There we go. Put you back here. That way you can see a little bit better. Okay, glove back on. And go back to this. So this has been an it's been really interesting to see everybody's comment on this. That seems like at least it's been very positive as a series. People seem to enjoy it, no matter what the outcome of this is going to be. So I appreciate you taking this journey with me. I know it's been a long one, but something I never expected I would be doing in my videoing career. You can call it that. So if I take a look here, I know there is like powdery substances. Again, I'm not the best at this, but you could see clearly here that there's nothing that resembles a fingerprint to me. Like this is just be like swiping on here, but I don't see anything clearly defined as fingerprints as we got on that the other 3 trial decks that look definitely like someone was actually touching these. So far, this Gen 0, oh, look at them. I really hope powder doesn't get inside this case. I really hope that doesn't happen. So I'm not going to bother turning on my light again. Like all my little lamps and all that stuff that's going on here. I'm just going to swipe this on. This orange, I don't understand why this orange is a little bit, the fluorescent one versus the black one, like just kind of clumps more than it. Maybe it's something to do with the fluorescentness of it, whatever you want to call this, that it doesn't stick as well as the black and other I guess I would say the white one. Just seems like the fluorescent one has a problem here where it just kind of droops off. Might be a fiber issue. That might be it. Anyways, let's hit it. So, again, this is just me swiping. I don't really see anything as of yet. Let me just, hold on. Do you consider that a print? That's a question. But where we had it before, we had this on the, actually, so I see like almost like a finger there. Fingers 3, let me just swipe it one more time. I want to make sure before I do this. And you can see I'm just dusting it on. I'm not putting any sort of pressure, right? You can see like this is just where the bloomy thing is. So I'll make sure what I'm seeing here is either fingerprints or not. Because this is the time to make sure. Just put a little more effort into it. And clean you up. I want to be sure because where we saw with the other one where it was at the top, the Hestia one before the, I keep saying it's Hestia, sorry. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? It did have like those markings on the side here. I feel like, let me get in closer. I feel like that could be something, but at this point, remember like the other 3 that were open all had it up here at the very top. Like they all had it here and here. And it's not matching. Not to say that the person doing this, employee number 2, there's nothing on here. Employee number 2 or number 500 couldn't just be somehow just gripping these three and closing it. You would think it would be on this side too, if you were doing that, and I don't really see that happening here. So for me, and this is everybody's own opinion, right? Like as I do this, for me, I can't say for. I'm pretty sure that this would be no fingerprints. It doesn't remind me of the pattern that I had with the ones that we thought were tampered with. So that's where I'm landing on. It's enough for me to say, you know what, I'm going to move on to Generation 1. For that, I'll turn on the lights again. Going back to Gen 1, I'm going to try to hurry as much as possible because I want to make sure my camera doesn't die because that would be bad. Right, so we are going to Gen 1. I'll get you out of the way. Same thing, I'm not going to show you. You need to have a bit of trust in me if you think that these are all sealed. I'm telling you these are sealed, but yeah, there you go. I'm not going to show it all the way around. We spent enough time doing this. Okay, so open you. That'd be really great if one of these trial decks that I'm opening actually has some sort of SP inside. That'd be nice. That'd be a nice way to conclude all of this effort from me. As you can see here again, Hololive. I do love these colors. I really wish the displays would have color on them. That would be nice because you could see, you know, can you imagine just looking back at this and having actual color? That would be nice. But now's not the time to talk about that. Trial deck again. See the bottom. See any sort of damage that reminds me of the last one, of the ones that we thought were tampered? Nope. See, they look pretty, right? This one actually fared better in shipping. Nothing horrible there. A little bit of lifting, but still good. Cut tape. And moving on. So I'm going to try to breeze through these because who wants to watch a 50-minute video of a guy fingerprinting stuff? So I'm going to try to slide this out so I don't touch the top. The top is what I really want to see. You know, the whole opening and closing, because I feel like that's where it would be at. Right, so I'm going to, whatever, I'm just going to dust. Trying to get less of this plume, this orange dust to come up. And we are gonna dust this on. It just bothers me. Like all this stuff just really, really bothers me. So we need to know for sure what is happening here. Okay, so as you can see, sprinkle, sprinkle. And I'm going to remove this excess. And the worst part, like fingerprints can come, I don't know how many stages this plastic thing goes through in order to get to this final process. So we'll never know, because this is one of those things that I'm pretty sure cannot be told to people. I don't think anybody wants to reveal their manufacturing process. I was actually surprised that Millennium Print Group put up like the actual process that they go through to show people how those Pokemon cards are made. Like, seriously surprised that that was actually out there on the internet. I mean, anybody that's worked in manufacturing, you probably had an idea on how this was actually done, but still. Okay, so just hit it. There's nothing on the side here, so this is me right here. This finger, this glovey part right here is me. We do have, just so you can see, just this little top piece right there. So I'm not going to say that this is nothing, like I swiped it with my thing, but it's just that one little bit on there. Everything else, like you could say, I want to hit that bottom quick, like right here, just because it's like a little smear. And you could see, like, once I'll bring it up closer. Once I moved over it with my wand, it cleared up. So that was mainly, trying to get this on camera, mainly just me. Like, my not so great fingerprinting technique at this point. And so we have that little bit up there. Nothing that resembles what we saw with, nothing that we saw with the other, the tampered with trial decks. So for me, still, I'm at a point where I don't see it. And the ones that we were tampered with were so egregious, right? You saw fingerprints all on the corners that I need something. I need a trial deck here to resemble exactly that, right? Like, I need to see that same amount of fingerprints to say, you know what, that's actually happened in the factory. That's what they do. They go and and it makes sense, because what worker would cautiously attempt to avoid fingerprints if they're not wearing gloves, right? Their job really is to take this stuff, if this is how they manufacture it, take it, put all the stuff into the trial deck container and close it up. That's all they're doing. They're not going to be, oh my god, I can't put my fingerprint on this thing. That would be bad. Right? They're not doing that. They're going for it. So if that is how the factory is, I would expect to see the same amount of fingerprints all over, you know, the trial decks here. The one stray fingerprint or anything like that, that wouldn't make sense. I mean, maybe that's part of the manufacturing, but what we saw is different. I need to see some consistency. You give me fingerprints that are all over the trial deck, and I'll say that these weren't tampered with. So I'm just going to bring this up to us through the camera here. And, you know, nothing legitly horrible. I will say there is that in the corner. Again, just that, not corner, but like, I guess the middle. So you can almost say that someone actually closed that from, like, you could say it's from the factory, I guess, but nothing like, you have a little bit on the top there. Nothing like before where the corners actually had fingerprints all over them. So again, I'm going to say at this point, it doesn't match what we had with the tampered ones. I'm going to keep moving on. So you could say maybe that's a fingerprint, maybe that's not, but the ones that were tampered with really had fingerprints all over them. You know, like all top corners, side, middle. These, they barely have anything on them. So next, like I said, we're going to be powering through these. I want to make sure that I keep test 2 all the way over here. So we are on Hololive 2nd Gen. Because I was telling my wife this experiment, my sister's this experiment, and I was saying like, yeah, you could have it where, which is odd that my Danmachi that was not tampered, like that came out of this display, I opened it myself. This Danmachi didn't have fingerprints all over it, like the tampered ones. So I had 3 tampered, what I believe were 3 tampered ones that had fingerprints all over it. You had 1 Danmachi that came out of the thing untampered with, but you don't know if the employees wear gloves or not. But if I go 7 out of 7 here, not matching the fingerprint pattern that we got on the 3 tampered, what does that tell me? You could still argue maybe it's not conclusive, but to me, if I go 7 out of 7 on something, there's some sort of pattern happening here. Right, and you could say maybe I ended up with the same employee, maybe statistically, but I don't think so. So here is 2nd Gen. And I actually take the time to admire this. Oh, look at that, it's so cool. So, Hololive. It is good. I mean, you should see what these double rares are looking like. I know there's some double rares that are pretty low, but with every Weiss Schwarz set, right, there are going to be some double rares that are expensive. This is the case as well. No different. Some good, some bad. Okay, so here we are. I didn't look at the box, but the box looked okay. Here you go. Here's the box. I think I did. Never mind. I don't know. I'm losing my mind here. So we are going back. I'm going to grab it from the bottom this time. So you see this? And grab it from the bottom. Because really interested in the top and apparently the sides as well. That's where I should be looking. Yeah, I honestly don't think everybody wears fingerprints, but it's weird to me. I mean, not everybody wears gloves, but it's weird to me how the corners are absent of those same fingerprints that we had on the other one. Yeah? Like, if you're going to tell me, okay, the top here has those markings on it, but the corners that we had didn't. Okay. Alright, that's good. Suck you up, suck you up. Oh, let me move you up. Sorry. I'm just trying to hurry here. Because this video is possibly going to take forever. And I don't know how this goes. I know because of these videos, some people may understand the horribleness of guaranteed drop rates. Guaranteed but not guaranteed drop rates, because people are willing to do this stuff to get really expensive signature cards, right? Like that's a thing. Alright. And hit it. It's that top part again. The top part's not just a pattern anymore, right? It always seems like there is going to be some kind of something on this top part. These corners look pretty, like clean to me. It didn't stand out like the other ones did, like the tampered one did. So I'm gonna land on that. So again, you could disagree with me on that. This is where I'm going with this. My thought process anyways. And let me just do this side again. If anything, apparently, and it's almost like we could subtract out fingerprints. If like there's a commonality with fingerprints, like as in they're always going to be on the side and the center, then I can almost subtract that from the tampered ones. Because again, I'm still looking for that corner. I need to see a corner fingerprint. I don't know how. Maybe I should try closing one of these trial decks, but for whatever reason, it looks like they hit the middle and the sides is what, if this is actually true, the factory workers, the people that put this together, that's how they close it. And if, in fact, my trial decks are actually tampered with, people close all of them. They close the little, they hit the corners. Maybe they press the middle, because we saw fingerprints on the middle as well, right? Come on. Suck you up. I need different phrases for what I'm actually doing here, but beggars can't be choosers, right? So, alright. I'm just gonna show this part. You can see nothing really there. I'm gonna, so if you see this bottom part down here, there's nothing here. I'm gonna grab there. I'm going to grab down here. And there is not that side fingering there as we had before. You could say, I'm just gonna go and say that top part's like always there. It just always seems like it's there. Whatever you want to call that. And there's something on the side, but let me just make sure it's not extra powder. No, it's extra powder. I just sucked it up. Okay. So let me grab there. It's a little extra powder, but you have a, sorry for my camera work here, a little something orange. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't look like it's a fingerprint. Okay, it's just probably just like plopped of fingerprint dust. All right, so nothing matches yet. Moving on. All right, you go. And I really hope I get an SP out of all this, all this trouble that I'm going through. All right, we are on gamers. We're on gamers. So this will be number 4. Come on, come on. All right. Gamers. I do want me, which one do I, I'm like looking at this as which SP would I want? I want Karune. I think I'd want her out of all of them. Not that I wouldn't like to have any one of them, but I like her. She's a lot of fun. Okay, we're gonna pop this open. And ooh, we got like a nice, I'm bad with colors. Teal? Is this considered teal? So, I'm gonna put you back. Put you there. Okay, number 4. Check the bottom. Nothing weird, looks pretty. I don't see any sort of creases. No fingerprints. I have that one right there in the middle, but that really wouldn't make any sense. Okay, looks good. As for the boxes, oh shoot, this one's a nice one. Well, almost perfect, almost perfect. Anyways, opening. Look at that. Looks cool. And away we go. Today actually is the BCS in Georgia right now. I wonder how those people are all doing. That's gotta be a lot of fun. I didn't see any for the East Coast. Oh, let me, and I just slide that sucker out like that. I'm not gonna touch it. Okay. And once more, we do this. Let me just slide you up. Trying to be mindful here of the camera so y'all can see everything happening. Yeah, that middle, man, there's something to do with that middle. That's definitely how they close it. So I'm going to go off and say, at some point during the process, that there is workers that touch this thing, but they touch it right at the center and maybe the sides here. I feel like this orange powder is in fact getting into this trial deck, are getting into these trial deck, which means I will have some lovely orange powder on my cards, which again does wipe away, just so you know I'm not destroying my cards. I wonder if I do have an SP in there, if orange dust is going to go inside. Like if it's going to be, because it does actually, it's paper, right? Like if you put any rub paper against any sort of coloring or anything, it's gonna pick it up. So it does actually. As I've been dusting these cards, there is a fairly orange tint to the side of the cards, which does rub off, but not always completely. So if you are attached to any of your cards, I would definitely say not to do this at all. Okay. Do not do this. Leave it to me, who's crazy enough to do this stuff. So, same idea, and I just picked this up so you can see. There's always some corner to like streak or whatever. Like this one doesn't really look like a fingerprint this time. Corner is clean. That corner doesn't really look printy. It looks just like my magic wand here. So let me just wand that. Yeah, it kind of just brushes away. So I don't believe that is anything again. And we are going to, just so you can see one more time what just happened. Okay, no clear defined, because if any place is going to clearly define, put a fingerprint on, it'd be the people working there. It's not like they care one way or the other. Their hands are all over this thing. All over the boxes, all over the stuff. So I can't believe that there would be people that would go these lengths. I think as a seller, I think it's cool. Like as a seller, you know, you do your part, you put this stuff out there. If you're a sealed seller, just sell the freaking sealed, right? Like, why are you messing with trying to get this? I guess it comes in when you're trying to just make a bunch of money. As with the world, everybody wants to make money. I mean, just sell your freaking sealed and move on. There's people that sell singles and sealed. Most of them, I would say the majority of them you can trust. This is just, again, a small minority of people that are really just trying to make the most money as possible. And those people, I think you could easily tell. I wouldn't buy from those people at all to begin with. I just wouldn't do it. Again, if I had an LGS that I could support and didn't have like crazy prices, I would do it just because I could trust and see it. But, okay, let me just show. I'm gonna grab from the side because I saw nothing from the side. Okay, again, you just gotta trust me on that one. Down here, you could say maybe is a fingerprint. Corners, not really. I mean, you could say that top part again, which matched everything that we've seen before, and then the side, not really anything. So for me, I'm 4 out of 4, as in nothing really happened. The fingerprinting, the fingerprints, or what we see pattern-wise, is consistent across the board. The tampered ones are definitely the ones that are out of place. They don't have that same kind of factory pattern. So actually, screw it. I'm just gonna go to Gen 3. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go to Gen 4. Since I said I was going to do it this way, because if any of these actually have a fingerprint pattern matching what we believed were tempered decks, then I'm just going to stop. But at this point, we haven't had that, so we'll see what Gen 4 gives us. I'd be really, really disappointed if I don't get a Choco SP at some point. I thought, in my mind, I was going there about like fingerprinting, but no, and Choco was my favorite of the Hololive members, and now I can watch her under K-Sun. I actually like watching her under K-Sun better. I mean, I love Choco as a character, but K-Sun, the person behind it, the personality, I truly love. And it seems like she's happier, she's freer to say and do things that she wants to, so hopefully everything is going well on that front, as in, financially she didn't lose anything really because of the transition that she had to go through with her with her changing of, I guess, personalities. Okay, so here is the deck. I'm going to play on too soon, but you can see down below, nothing here. And that looks okay, a little bit picked up. And a little bit picked up. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, I actually have to do, while I'm showing all this, is because I have to do an update to my trial deck video. It is out of date. Definitely out of date at this point. So I want to show these in case I see like horrible damage that came right out of a display. That way I can add it to that video. So again, I'm going to slide this out, not going to touch it. There we go. So let me hit it with a knife. There we go. And one more time. Dust it up. Yeah, there's always something to do with this top part. Like right in the middle. I'm concluding that my stuff was messed with at this point. I know the test isn't over, but it's definitely looking that way to me. I'm leaning more that direction more and more as we go here. Okay, so dump that powder, pick you up. I really do like playing with this. This is really a lot of fun. It's like that fancy, what is it, kinetic sand that's out there. I honestly thought when I was watching people do videos of like the professionals actually showing this fingerprint powder and how to actually fingerprint, that I was like, oh, I wonder if I could use kinetic sand, since that's what it reminds me of, like the way the sand all picks up and sticks to things. That maybe I could do that. Okay. I see top middle as all the other ones. It is actually really nice to do all these displays that we have. So here, top middle, and not really anything else. Like you could say maybe that corner down there, but again, doesn't match what we saw before. Wait. Ah, shoot. Wait, yeah. Yeah, I actually am getting powder inside of there. You see that? It's actually inside the trial deck. Oh shoot, my cards all for science. That's what this is. All to catch a scammer. I mean, this is gonna be very disappointing. Very disappointing if one of these trial decks do not match those tampered ones, because I really had high hopes for one of the sellers. One of the sellers I wanted to believe in. I wanted to, send one of my questionnaire forms just to see if they want to be recommended in a video. But if this truly comes out this way, that these trial decks do not match that, I will never recommend that store. And I will not say the store's name, because I bought these from multiple people. Just because, again, if I'm wrong, I don't want to be sued or anything like that. This is for me internally to know that, you know what, I guess I'm never recommending that store because I can't trust it. Oh, wrong light. Losing track of what I'm doing. So you have to trust me on the, well, actually, I'll try to show. There's not anything here on the side where the cards are on, so that's where I'm going to grab it. So I'm going to grab it there. We do have this bottom one again, which seems to be pretty much consistent with the other ones that we've had so far, right? Like there, at some point, some bottom plastic, there's something down there. But in the tops, and this one doesn't, oops, sorry. This one, there's no real defined fingerprints in the top, right? I'm just waiting for my camera here to autofocus, so there we are. Like, not really anything. That middle has that there, but nothing else. So moving on, that is Gen 4. So we are back to Gen 3. I'm actually feeling kind of kind of upset. Actually, look, that store, seriously, like I had a lot of high hopes for. And then the other one was the first time I bought from them. So that is going to be really disappointing too. Because you want to trust people. You don't want this to happen. I know Weiss like had a big boom in popularity and all that stuff, but you know your job, as I see it, is to sell product, not to rip off your customers, which is very, very, very unfortunate. Okay. All right, Gen 3. I'm gonna pop this. I realize I don't have my other light on, which is an incredible difference into the lighting. Oh. All right, we got, this is the Powerhouse set. I say Powerhouse because, you know, like when it comes to SP, some of the more expensive ones from this set. So you could see all the cast and character here. Good ones. And then we have bottom one, not messed with. Tape, okay, a little pushed up. And yeah, that. So if my camera dies, this will still be on. My face will still be on here. I'll just have to re-plug in the actual camera. And you might be wondering why, if I could just do that, why don't I just plug it in right now? I guess that's something I should have just did. But I didn't. And that's how we're going to do this. So again, we will pop this out by sliding it down. And we're going to check this. Well, this works out. Now I'll get my playset of Gen 3 going on here. And we are going to dust all this up. My wife is going to be so happy when I'm done with this. I have not. There is, again, you can't see, but that table where we eat at has all of the fingerprint dust. It has all of the cards that I did, all the trial decks still sitting back there. Because I knew I was going to do this video at some point. I was just waiting for myself to put all the videos through, see if I get some sort of response from the email that I actually sent, and which I'm not going to talk about. And here we find ourselves, you know, when I had time. Today I was putting it on Twitter. I was putting pictures. I was smoking a pork butt, a 10-pound pork butt. It was on sale, so I was like, you know what? I gotta buy it. I gotta do it. So my house smells like pork. Just completely smells so good. I love smoking. Smoking meat. It was very, very, very tasty and nice and really delicious. And smells so good. Who doesn't love meat? Actually, I guess I know who doesn't like meat. Vegetarians. They don't like meat. I will say, if I had to kill it myself, I probably wouldn't eat meat ever. I'd be very, very sad that I had to do that. I would probably name it. I'd probably name my animals if I had animals. The best I could do is probably get chickens, because then I would just eat the eggs. And then I'd just bury the chickens when they die, or when they get old and all that stuff. I wouldn't eat them. I wouldn't eat her. Okay, let's see. They're family, man. They're family. So let me grab here on the side. Not really anything in the corner. I don't say not really anything. I say that in a way because that's up to your interpretation. To me, it doesn't look like there's anything in the corner. We have that middle thing as always. We have whatever this is in the corner, which since it didn't match all the other ones, I'm going to just dust this one more time, make sure it's not just my technique or whatever. So as you can see, I just want to show you, I'm not like wiping it away. I'm doing what you're supposed to do, which is, you know, using your wand and brushing over it. That's why you can see this center middle one is not wiping away when I do this, but when I do the corner there, it is actually coming off what I thought was in the corner. What I said was I didn't think was in the corner. It was just like in the corner. I should probably attempt to get these gaps in the actual trial deck, as I don't want orange dust on my cards. I don't sell anyway cards, but if I ever do, and And you get cards with orange dust on them. I guess you'll know that, you know, Big B sold you some cards. But I don't sell cards, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you ever do get some Hololive cards, and they have orange dust on it, maybe hit it with some UV light. And you'd be like, wow, this came from Big B. Not that anybody would mind. Even though Audrey said I should autograph some of these cards. I wonder if that counts as like destroying cards. And I'll be like banned by Bushiroad. Because my autograph is worth nothing. Okay, let me just clean this up. That'd be crazy one day. My autograph be worth something. I don't think that day is ever coming, and I don't think I want that actually to ever happen. Maybe if it was for a friend, you know, like just signing something for a friend just because it's goofy and fun. But outside of that, I don't know if I ever want my autograph to be worth anything. If I was ever famous, I would do the Dave Chappelle thing. You know, I'd have a couple good seasons, get paid, and get the heck out. I want out. So I'm just gonna show you this again. There is what could be something right there where I'm like zooming in and out. Nothing on this side, so I'm gonna pick it up. Now that I showed you that, I'm just gonna pick it up there. And let me focus. I don't see anything there. You know, honestly, I don't even see that middle thing that we've seen from time and time again. So, 3rd gen clean. I'm going 3rd gen clean. Dude, we are on 6 out of 6. We have one more trial deck left to prove to me that these fingerprints match the other ones. And right now, I have my doubts. We have last one, which means I am unfortunately going to lose 2 sellers from the list. I have to see where one of the other ones came from. I was pretty sure I got 2 from one and 1 from the other place. I know exactly where I got the one and the other one, but since Hololive was a hectic time, if you remember the videos I said where people were canceling, people were doing shady things with my orders and all that, I need to just double check and see, because I am potentially losing 2 sellers and maybe a 3rd if this is how it comes down. So, cool box. We are on gen number 5. This is for the marbles, people. I don't have anything that tells me yet that my stuff wasn't tampered with. I am still landing on, right now, as of right now, my stuff was tampered with. 100%. This box did not fare as well. You can see my right there. Trial deck got a tear in it. That one's okay. That one got a tear. That one, oh wow, that one got a tear. So this one did not fare well. I don't know if that styrofoam they added to the Danmachi. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Trial decks actually helps out. So totally helps out where it prevents a good deal of that. But you know, they're trying. Okay, so people, check out the bottom. Looks good. Check out the side. Again, it lifted up, which, you know, eventually causes that tear right there. And then a little bit of lifting, but tape's still good. And here we go. So I don't know about you, if you landed on the same thought process I did, because everybody has their thoughts on this. Like, if you count that center, if that basically says there's fingerprints all over this, to me, I'm not there. But let me know. This is where I should be like a professional YouTuber, right? Let me know in the comments what you think. And as always, feel free to email me. Check me out on Twitter if you care to see pictures of pork butts on there. If you want to see it. Sorry, I thought that was funny. Butts. Because there is a story that goes along with pork butt, right? Like, why is it named that way when it's actually a pork... It's really a pork shoulder, but they call it pork butt. Because back in the day, they did not have refrigerators, right? Like, there was no way to do it. You would salt your meat, and where they would store that is in a barrel. They would store it in a barrel, which was called a butt. So that's where you ended up with a pork butt, because they shoved that. That was a fancy way to store meat back in the day. Salt it and throw it in a barrel. So that's why we got pork butt. Anyways, you're educated now. Everybody, you gotta learn something once a day, and I don't know if you learned anything from this video at this point, other than Big B probably potentially got scammed trying to help people find a store that they can trust. That's what I'm learning today. That, you know what, from what I'm seeing literally right now, that I probably got ripped off. I feel like I did at this point. I'm gonna just hit this corner because it's like, you know, just whatever. Jeez, and I know I did it. I honestly did all of this buying from different stores as part of my Big B secret shopper program to recommend some stores to you, and to have stores do this during Hololive release, that's effed up. I'm really pissed off about it now that I'm on number 7. There's nothing down here on the side, so you could say. We got middle. All right, let me get this on camera again. We got that middle, that same thing, whatever that is. I have no clue what that is. And it's the same as, it's not like a fingerprint, but you can see like lines up and down. I don't know what that really means. Here, doesn't really look like a fingerprint to me. I mean, we have markings, and this could just be, you know, my lack of great things, but this does not match in any form of like the trial decks that we've seen that were tampered with, where there's like fingerprints here, and then, you know, like as of yet, anything on the front. And we did have some on the front before. I mean, I know we had some on the sides, but it was consistent with the other trial decks, right? Like the ones that were opening from the display. And that's how I'm going about it. Like the ones that are the outliers, you know, after looking at this, the ones that are really the outliers are the ones that I thought were tampered with so far. So we'll see on this last one. Dude, I'm kind of pissed. I'm not lying here. I'm just kind of, you know, because nobody wants to get ripped off. And it's like, just think about this. You're a person, and I've had people write, like in my last video, go to my last video that I made, which was about reprints, right? Or some of my other videos. You could read in comments. People don't have a lot of money. You know what? They're trying to get into Weiss Schwarz. They're just trying to play. They're just trying to buy from places. And, you know, there's some scumbags out there that are really wanting to just rip you off. And it's super sad and unfortunate that this is going to be the case. Because this is what I'm getting from looking at this. I'm getting the fact that someone messed with my trial decks. Alright, so if you believe me, I'm going to try to show you. There's nothing here on that side. Nothing here on this side. So I'm going to pick it up from this bottom part again. And, you know, again, we got that top part. Sorry, I'm trying to put this on camera. We got that top part as always. This side, whatever, that's not really anything, and I don't see anything here. So I'm landing on, this is my conclusion now, at this point. Oh, here, and this is that customary one that's always there. So it feels like if they're closing this at the actual factory, they're pressing down at the bottom and one at the top. That's what's happening. You know, they go boom, boom, and that's how they do it. Where my I don't know if this is just common for people to do. Let me just, I want to open this and see how I would close it. Like, go find a trial deck of your own. It's already open, and imagine yourself closing this, because what we see here, it's not really matching what, like, so they have it. They push down and push down. I kind of want to open this, but I don't want more fudge. I see orange dust inside. Wait, is that on the outside? Alright, maybe this one's on the outside. That really looks like it's on the band inside. Oh dang. What is orange dust on count on TCG Player? Again, I don't sell cards, I'm just asking. Would that make it light played? Make it moderately played to have like an edge with like an orange coloring to it? I don't know. Okay, so this is test one. Let me know what you think about test one, whether you think that this is inconclusive, whether that proves that my things were tampered with. Let me know. I want your thoughts on that. And then, dude, that's a bummer. I'm like really upset about that. I need another plate. I'm gonna go over there, get another plate. He's gonna be happy when I stop using all these plates for fingerprint dust. I need to get one for the black. I actually used up all these plain white ones. So, okay. So then we got a little fancier looking one. I should have probably wiped this off, but I'm not. Actually, I should. Because I should be somewhat professional here. And how we do this in so how we're doing this now is I just want to wipe this off, just a general wiping. Like I said, I should have bought two of these so then I could use the black one and not have like this orange dust mixing with the black, but you know what? I'm an amateur. I didn't know any better. And this is probably it for these tests at this point. This is our last hurrah. Unless someone decides to send me a trial deck to check out for myself. So anyways, back here, again, what, let's say, Darky Holmes said was, because someone has to actually open this up like this, maybe their finger is underneath here. So we're gonna pop this open. I'm gonna pop this open. I say that, but I'm struggling, massively struggling here. So I added a few more creases that weren't there before by doing that. So what we're gonna do is open this up and once and for all check if there is any sort of fingerprints at the bottom that may have ended up there. I really like this black way better than the orange. Just so much easier to use. It doesn't give me as many problems as that. And it stands out on the white better. So, if you're with me on this one, again, I didn't touch the bottom. You saw how I kind of like tore into this sucker. I don't know. I mean, we got whatever that is right there. What looks to be like something. There and there. And then that right there. Maybe when it could have been someone opening it. So again, leaving this to you. This kind of looks, I just want to hit it one more time, just making sure I'm not out of my mind. Nope, it's definitely staying there. You can see me hit it. You can see like I'm flaking stuff off of here. That's there. That is there, 100% there. And it kind of looks like something. Honestly, it does look like something there. So I guess I'm not using this trial deck anyway. This box, it's got black dust at the bottom. I guess I can wipe it off. I don't know. Darn it. I do not want to see this. I honestly do not want to see fingerprints at the bottom of these. So this was the Gen 5, the one that got damaged, what appeared to look like damage in shipping, which to me didn't match what I was seeing. Like I didn't... Here, let me just pull that out. There we go, look at that, pull that out. It didn't match what I was seeing from the box, and it made it suspect to me. All right, well, let's check you. Nothing on that side, right? Nothing there, that one's good. Nothing there. And you. So yeah, this one's clean. Not anything on this one. Okay, good. And our final one, the one that everybody thought was suspect. So the Gen 5 and this Gen 3, I thought came from the same place. I will go back into my records and check to see if it was actually from the same place. But after those 7 trial decks I just did, I do not trust at least 2 of the places and potentially a 3rd one. Yeah, that sucks. It sucks for people buying online that we have to go through this kind of effort, that we have to just believe that someone's not out here to just rip you off. It's just bogus, man. What kind of world you live in where you can't trust the person that you're buying stuff from? Alright, this one's clean too. And if true, that kind of makes sense from coming from the same place. So there you go, Darky Home. Hopefully this settles that one there for you. I checked it out. That's where it is. And that is everything. I will... So if you're wondering about what's inside the actual trial decks, if there's SPs or something, I'll do that a different day. I'm not going to do it now. I'll do it on my Hololive opening if I ever do that. We'll see if I ever get to that point, but I won't check into what's inside of these. I need to get the orange dust out first, and who knows how long that'll take for me to actually do that. But my conclusion is still the same. I'm landing on this, and this is my conclusion. After doing these trial decks, right? After doing these trial decks, I believe mine were actually tampered with. I do not see the same pattern of fingerprints happening on these trial decks that came out of display. All 8 of them, remember, because I did that Danmachi. I just did 7 Hololive ones. They do not match what we saw on the 3 tampered ones that I got. And that is... I don't try to get angry. I don't know if you can tell. Like in my heart of heart, I can feel my anger and rage and all that's happening. I may not be conveying that to you right now, but it is very upsetting that there are people out there that now, not only did you have to worry about mapped dead boxes and all that, now you have to worry about people opening this thing from the bottom. And if I could have, you know, any wish for these trial decks, like Bushiroad do it, I would love to have those ones where it was the seal from back in the day where the cards were actually wrapped up. You pulled like a plastic, you know, like a box of raisins. They have that where you have like a little gold tab, and then you pull it and it rips all the plastic off. That would be nice to actually have. I was thinking about using holographic whatever on that. That would be nice too. That way you can't really recreate the holographic or the stamp that says Weiss Schwarz on it. You know, imagine a plastic wrap on there that says Weiss Schwarz. It's not like everybody can just recreate that, and it gives me a little bit more confidence that the stuff I'm getting is not actually tampered with. Because again, you can just map this sucker out, find the one, and then do it. But I can see why there was a ability to do this, right? Because if people sell displays, that's easy, right? You just go and sell displays. But what happens if someone buys singles? The temptation's there because you're gonna open the display, you're gonna pull it out, sell it to somebody. But while you're there, maybe you just take a look at what's inside of this, and that's the hard part, right? Like I keep saying that there are people that you can definitely trust. There's a majority of sellers that you can definitely trust. But there are some that will take advantage of everything possible. And if you're going to buy a single, right, like there is that ability that even if it's a trusted person, they could just open the bottom of the trial deck and take a look at what's inside, which is awful. So I would love to actually see a full seal around with a Weiss Schwarz logo across it. That would pretty much give me enough satisfaction that it's okay. I'd love to see the tape at the bottom again, just because tape pretty much all looks consistent from one trial deck to the next. There shouldn't be anything at a weird angle. And even once they get past the, like if they're good at taking out the tape, you still have to open the box. And if there's something weird at the bottom of the box, maybe like there's a crease or something, even though there's tape on it, and it doesn't match what we saw, that's why I took the time to show the top of these things, because then we can look at the bottom and see if the damage makes sense. If you had that down there, you can tell as well. But hopefully this is the conclusion. This concludes it for me. I'm good now. I know that I shouldn't buy from those places ever again. Right? That's just messed up. That what I believe they did. I'm not going to name those stores in case I am wrong on my conclusion here. And maybe I'll buy from them again. Maybe I won't. I'm pretty sure I'm leaning that I will never buy from there again. And that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. I'm really upset about that. It's just, I don't know. Again, I believe in the good of people, and this is definitely not not the good. That is definitely the selfish side of what people have done. So with that, as always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside your budget. Have a good one.